What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. The second round of World Cup games has for the group stage has officially completed with I think it was group K and group L. They played both their games yesterday, so we'll talk about them games as well. But before that, we'll go from the top with regards to the groups with regards to the group stage. So let's get into the results so far. So here you have Mexico and South Korea topping Group A at the moment. And I'm expecting Mexico to be coming away with 9 points as well. I'm expecting Mexico to win against Czech Republic. And then South Korea probably a little bit unlucky to be coming away with that 1-0 loss against Mexico. But I'm expecting South Korea to go through as well because I'm expecting South Korea to be beating South Africa. So I'm expecting Mexico and South Korea to be going through. And then Czech Republic finishing third in their group. I don't think 1 point is going to be enough to be going through to the round of 16. So I'm expecting Czech Republic and South Korea to be knocked out. That's my kind of forecast for Group A. Group B, you've got Canada, Switzerland, Bosnia, and Qatar. So I'm expecting Canada. I'm expecting actually this is going to be a tough match. I think Switzerland versus Canada. 4 points is basically you're through to the next round. So highly unlikely that Canada and Switzerland are going to get knocked out. So Canada and Switzerland are going to go through. In terms of who I think is going to beat either side, I think I'm going to go with a. I'll go with a Switzerland win. I think Switzerland will beat Canada to top the group. Then Canada will finish second, and then Bosnia will finish third after beating Qatar. So that's how I think Group B is gonna go. Group C. You've got Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and Haiti. So this is a little bit of a tough group for Scotland here, but I'm expecting Brazil to be beating Scotland. Scotland are going to finish third, and then Morocco. I'm expecting Morocco to beat Haiti as well, and then obviously I think it goes down to goal difference with regards to who finishes top. Brazil and Morocco most likely going to be finishing with 7 points. So and then Scotland in third. That's how I think Group C is going to go. Group D. A little bit disappointed that Turkey couldn't even muster a win, or they failed to score a goal as well this World Cup. United States have done reasonably well. I don't think I expected them to be going through as group winners. But so United States are going to be up against Turkey. Turkey have been knocked out. Then Australia and Paraguay are going to be fighting it out for the second place. And then I'm expecting Australia to be beating Paraguay. That's how I think that's gonna go. Then Germany, Ivory Coast, and Ecuador and Curacao. So Germany are through to the next round after beating Curacao and Ivory Coast, scoring that late winning goal in injury time at the end of the second half. I'm expecting Germany to get 9 points as well. I'm expecting them to beat Ecuador as well. But I'm expecting Ivory Coast to beat Curacao as well. So Germany and Ivory Coast to be going through as the first and second, then Ecuador to be finishing third. I don't think 1 point is going to be enough. So I think Ecuador and Curacao are going to get knocked out. Then Group F. You've got Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. So I'm expecting Netherlands to be coming 3 points away with Tunisia as well. So that's how I think that's gonna go. Japan, I'm gonna say Japan are gonna beat Sweden as well, and then Sweden will likely. We'll see if 3 points is enough, as in the best third, eighth place, the 8 best third place teams go through. So we'll see if 3 points is enough. But Netherlands and Japan are going to go through, in my opinion. And then Sweden, we'll see how they get on. Tunisia have already been eliminated. And then Group G. Egypt, I'm expecting Egypt to beat Iran. I think Iran have done reasonably well, coming away with draws against New Zealand and Belgium. Belgium in third place, but I'm expecting Belgium to beat New Zealand. And then Belgium most likely going to finish with 5 points. I'm expecting Egypt to beat Iran, so Egypt are going to be finishing the group with 7 points. So that's how I see that's going. Egypt, Belgium, Iran, New Zealand. That's how I think Group G is going to go. Group H. Spain, Uruguay, Cape Verde, and Saudi Arabia. Cape Verde have done really, really well in my opinion, coming away with draws against Spain and Uruguay. But Spain, after that disappointing draw against Cape Verde, they bounced back with a 4-0 win against Saudi Arabia, which was a good result for them, of course. So now they are up against Uruguay in the final game for their group stage. But I'm expecting Spain and Uruguay to go through, and then Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia, a little bit of a difficult mismatch there. I don't know how that's going to go. If Saudi Arabia do win, 4 points could be enough to take them through to the knockout stages, so we'll see how that goes. Cape Verde as well with a win would move to 5 points, so they would be going through to the knockout stages as well. So Group H still all to play for as well, along with Group G as well. Egypt's group still all to play for Group G and Group H, so we'll see how that goes. And then Group I think these are the games that I didn't speak about in my previous video. France and Norway are through to the round of 32, and then we'll see who finishes top with Norway against France. There, obviously, whoever wins that game will finish top of the group. And then I think Iraq have been knocked out, if I'm not mistaken, mathematically, or they're not possible that they can qualify for the round of 32 now. Senegal, I do think have a chance. I'm not sure with regards to Group I, with regards to Iraq or Senegal. I think whoever wins that game will have a chance of qualifying as a third best placed team. So still a little bit to play for in Group I there as well. And then Group J, Argentina obviously coming away with wins against Algeria and Austria, so they are through to the round 32. And then they are up against Jordan. I'm expecting Argentina to win the group, and then I'm expecting Algeria to beat Austria. I'll go with the Algeria win, Austria to finish third, and then Jordan have been eliminated in fourth. And then Colombia, I think these are the games probably I didn't speak about. I don't really remember now. But Portugal came away as 5-0 winners against Uzbekistan, which is a good result for them. Colombia with a win in their first game against Uzbekistan and a win against DR Congo are through to the round of 32. So now Portugal are going to be up against Colombia in that decider in terms of who finishes top. I think it's going to have massive repercussions with regards to who England play as well in the round of 32, depending on who finishes top in that group. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to go with Portugal to beat Colombia. I think Portugal will beat Colombia, and then Portugal will finish top, Colombia second, and then Congo in third, and then Uzbekistan fourth. But yeah, let's speak about the England game. This is the main game that I wanted to speak about after that disappointing draw against Ghana. It was a really poor game, I'll be honest with you. Ghana should have had a penalty. England didn't do nowhere near enough to win the game, in my opinion. And it was a really poor performance by Tuchel's men. England didn't, like I said, they didn't do nowhere near enough to win the game. It was a disappointing performance by England, and we England had the chance to secure qualification into the round of 32, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. We'll take a look at the stats as well, but it was a poor display yesterday. It was a boring game. I was disappointed with that match. 90 minutes that I'll never get back. England, like I said, they had this. Ghana should have had a penalty. I think O'Reilly hit the bar, and then from the rebound, Kane, which should have scored from that rebound, he skied it over the bar. So a little bit of a disappointing game, for England. And I think this is exactly the reason why England, in my opinion, aren't going to be winning the World Cup. I could be mistaken, of course, but I just don't think England have it in them to be winning the World Cup. Let's take a look at the stats for this game. This is the game that I wanted to speak about in this video, so we'll take a look at the stats. England here, 79% possession. It was all in front of Ghana. It was all side-to-side passing. There were no kind of incisive line-breaking passes that Declan Rice nor Elliot Anderson played through, really, in my opinion. I think Kobbie Mainoo probably should have started. I think Saka and Rashford maybe probably should have started as well. Maybe not Rashford, because Ghana didn't really leave too much space in behind for the likes of Rashford to run into. But I think Anthony Gordon didn't have a good game either. If we have a look at the lineup, have a look at the England lineup here. Oh, my light keeps switching off. Just give me a second here. Yeah, my light keeps switching off for some reason, or it keeps. Give me a second here. Yeah, hopefully that should be fine. Sorry about that, guys. My light for my lamp keeps switching off, so I need it on so I can get better visual quality for my webcam or whatever. But yeah, so in terms of the game, I don't think Anthony Gordon had a particularly good game. I don't think Madueke had a particularly good game. Kane, obviously, he had a strike which he blasted right over the bar. I think from here in the 86th minute, he really should have scored that chance in my opinion. And if Kane scores that chance, you want the ball to be landing to Kane in that situation. And if Kane scores that chance, England top the group, and it's a good result for England. I think Ghana are going to be more happy with that result. But I think Ghana defended really, really well. I think Konza in the second half should have given away a penalty, and had that penalty been given away, Ghana step up to take the penalty. Probably Anton Semenyo, he probably puts it away, and then Ghana win that game 1-0. So I think England are a little bit unlucky. I don't understand why it didn't go to VAR. That decision, it was a stonewall penalty. Konsa, I don't know who it was, who he fouled, which wasn't given, of course. Konza, I don't know who he was up against. I can check that in the commentary here. It was pretty late on in the game. Obviously, England had a chance which went off the line in the 94th minute. Hit the bar in the 86th minute. Ball falls to Kane, who lashes his follow-up effort over the bar. And then where's that huge chance for Ghana? Konza jumps in with a challenge, and that does enough to thwart the striker. I think it was Adu. Eze is caught in possession by Fatawu, and he puts Adu through 1-on-1 with Pickfoot. I think it's Adu, the Ghanaian player that Konza fouls. I think it's a penalty in my opinion. So, I think England are a little bit unlucky to be coming away with a point, because had Ghana got that penalty, they would have put that penalty away, and then Ghana would have won the game 1-0. So, that is a little bit disappointing as well. Gay was alright in defence. Jed Spence was a little bit suspectable in my opinion. I want to see a left back. I want to see a left footer playing at left back, and I think Jed Spence is right footed. So, in that regard, getting crosses into the box with your right foot, you got to cut inside, and then that kind of leaves you playing to Ghana's hands, so to speak, because Ghana really kind of stifled England playing through the middle. So it's really, really difficult to play through the middle. But I think defensively Ghana played really, really well. England were poor with the ball. They had the majority of possession, but they didn't do nowhere near enough with the ball to actually win the game. So and like I said, I think the draw, England are lucky to be coming away with a draw here, because Ghana deserved a penalty in my opinion. Konza diving in on Adu late on in the game, and had Ghana got that penalty, they would have scored through Anton Semenyo. Then we were talking about a completely different game. It would have been a poor result by England. This is a poor result by England anyway, in my opinion. But yeah, in terms of the stats, like I said, 19 shots, only 3 on target, nowhere near good enough to be coming away with the 3 points here. But yeah, 79% possession, did nowhere near enough with the ball. 21% for Ghana, and Ghana had 2 shots, 1 on target. Ghana didn't really offer anything going forward. They did have a couple of opportunities on the break, which they looked a little bit threatening, and like I said, England should have given away a penalty, but apart from that, Ghana didn't really threaten too much. A couple of chances on the break, but they didn't really come of anything. But yeah, I think on another day, England are coming away with a loss, in my opinion, and that is why, in my opinion, England are not going to be winning the World Cup. I just don't think they have. They have the bottle to do it, and tactically, Thomas Tuchel was kind of shown up by the likes of Carlos Queiroz in this game. Thomas Tuchel, I think he left a lot to be desired. I think his substitutions were a little bit late as well. I think possibly Eberici, Eze, Morgan Rogers and Marcus Rashford should have been coming on a little bit earlier. Possibly I think Mainu could have started as well, because I don't think Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson offer that line breaking pass, so to speak. When you're playing against a low block, I don't think Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson were offering line breaking passes to break the lines that Ghana was so comfortable in sitting back and kind of just letting England have the ball. I don't think that we played, or England played, line breaking passes to break the Ghana lines too much. So I think that, in my opinion, Kobbie Mainoo probably should have started. And Kobbie Mainoo is a technician, and if you have a look at the bench here, Kobbie Mainoo and possibly Ollie Watkins maybe gone 4-4-2 in that regard. Maybe take off Jude Bellingham, put on Ollie Watkins, go 4-4-2, and that in that regard, Ghana have a little bit more to worry about in the box. So that could have been an option that Thomas Tuchel could have done. Put in Ollie Watkins, but I think, in my opinion, Kobbie Mainoo needs to be starting against the next game against Panama, because I don't think Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson offer enough on the ball, in my opinion. I don't know why Jordan Henderson is at the World Cup, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Yeah, so hopefully Kobbie Mainoo can start against Panama, but England aren't going to be winning the World Cup. They're just not. Anthony Gordon, like I mentioned before, he didn't do nowhere near enough. Madueke didn't do nowhere near enough as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if I was seeing Saka and Rashford on the wings for the game against Panama. But yeah, in terms of the table, it doesn't leave England in an awful position, so to speak. 4 points is going to get you through to the round of 32. So I'm expecting England. I was expecting England to be winning against Ghana, but I'm going to be expecting England to be winning against Panama as well. So yeah, in terms of the remaining fixtures, we'll take a look at them as well, and I've given my kind of my score predictions for the remaining games. We'll do it for Group L as well before we head off here as well. So England, their next game is up against Panama. So I'm expecting England to be winning against Panama. Panama haven't picked up a single point against Ghana and Croatia. So I'm expecting a win. If England don't win that game, then they really don't deserve to be winning the World Cup. They have to be winning that game to gain some confidence, and obviously you want to be playing a third place side as well. You don't want to be playing any of the top hitters. You don't want to be playing Portugal. You don't want to be playing the likes of big sides in the round of 32. So in terms of Group L, I'm gonna say England going to top the group. Then I'm gonna say it's between Ghana and Croatia to be finishing second. I'm gonna say Croatia beat Ghana. So Croatia finished second. England finished top with 7 points. Croatia finished England finished first, with 7 points with that win against Ghana. Then with that win against Panama, Then I'm gonna say Croatia finished second ahead of Ghana. So Croatia finished ahead of Ghana, with Croatia picking up 6 points, and then Ghana finish third. So Ghana go through as the best third place team in third position in Group L. Obviously 4 points is going to be enough for you to get through to the round of 32. Let's take a little look at the knockout stages as they stand right now. So this is as they stand right now, obviously all subjective to change. England top in the group would play against Cape Verde at the moment, so that's the round of 32 game at the moment. Damn it, let me just go back to the World Cup knockout here. So England would be playing against Cape Verde, which would be a good tie, to be honest. England beat Cape Verde, which I'm expecting them to do that. England would be up against Mexico in the round of 16. So I'm expecting England are a better side than Cape Verde and Mexico, so I'm expecting England would be beating them both sides. But still, this is still all to change. We don't know how it's going to end up. The last round of group stages start today. Germany, USA, Mexico, and Argentina have confirmed themselves in that bracket for the round of 32. So they are confirmed. But yeah, I'm expecting I'm expecting England to be beating Panama. Hopefully they can, because we want a good tie and a good kind of position to be going in further into the tournament. But yeah, once the third round of games has taken place, I'll do another kind of prediction video for the knockout rounds. But yeah, anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.